For anyone who really, truly loves movies, we're always on the lookout for a fresh way to talk about them, right? A new language to get at that magic we see on screen. Well, today, we're going to dig into something that does exactly that. It all starts with this one big question. What is the essence of a movie star? It's got to be more than just fame or box office numbers. It's that unique thing, that almost impossible to describe quality they bring to every single frame. And this zine from Amebo India, it has some pretty poetic answers. I want you to think of it less like a magazine and more like a film critic's personal notebook, one that's just filled with these sharp, brilliant observations that we're lucky enough to get a peek into. Okay, let's get into it. The zine uses this amazing framework it calls the alphabet of stardom. So for each letter, they pick an actor and just distill their entire on-screen persona into one single, unforgettable idea. So first up, Ayushmann Khurrana. The zine calls him, and I love this, awkward is the new alpha. And that just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? He's become this gentle rebel in Hindi cinema who's completely rewritten what it means to be a leading man by making vulnerability his superpower. And then you got someone like Allu Arjun, who they call the icon star. The description here is pure poetry. Swagger wrapped in silk. A storm disguised as style. Wow. That perfectly captures that mix of just effortless cool and this raw, undeniable power. You don't just watch him, you kind of get pulled into his orbit. And on the total other end of the spectrum, there's Ajay Devgan. His label, just iron. That's it. His whole screen presence is just built on this foundation of absolute control. He's not the chaos, he's the calm, steady center of it all. Still waters, with a real strong current underneath. But look, this zine is deeper than just talking about actors. It really gets that cinema is also all about place. So it zooms out from the who on the screen to the where and explores how geography itself can feel like a character in the story. In a section called City Spotlight, it points its lens towards Northeast India. Now, this is a region whose identity in film is, well, it's really complex and, let's be honest, often totally misunderstood by the mainstream. And this quote, man, it just cuts right to the bone. The zine argues that the gap isn't just about miles on a map. It's emotional. It's a distance that's measured in these deep-seated feelings of conviction and distrust. The analysis gets even sharper, digging into the very words we use. The zine suggests the term Northeast is kind of like a lazy shorthand. It points to an apathy that just lumps this huge, diverse area together, totally ignoring all the distinct cultures and unique identities within it. And all of this leads to a really powerful conclusion from the zine, that Northeasternness isn't just an identity people claim. It's become a coping mechanism, a necessity. It's a way of being that's born from the need to be seen and heard in a country that so often just looks the other way. But hold on, because the zine's analysis doesn't stop there. This is where things get really wild, just truly mind-bending. It kicks off a whole new cinematic dialogue by drawing these direct lines between stars from India and Nigeria. The whole idea here is that some performance styles, some energies, are just universal. These are kindred spirits, working in totally different industries, thousands of miles apart, but they're somehow tapping into the very same human truths. So let's look at the pairing of Vikrant Massey and Chimezie Omo. The zine calls them the quiet ones. They're these masters of subtlety who have this immense screen presence, this cinematic gravity. They don't need to shout to get your attention. They just pull you in with their quiet power. Or how about this one? Alia Bhatt and Genevieve Ume. The zine points out their shared gift for magnetic vulnerability. I mean, they're both just so instinctive as performers. They can take this raw, open emotion and turn it into an art form, making their honesty on screen absolutely mesmerizing. And then you have the legends. Anil Kapoor and Richard Mofe-DeMeo, RMD. They're the timeless icons. Just two absolute showmen who prove that real charisma doesn't fade away. Nope, it just matures, getting richer and more confident over time. And the list just keeps going. The zine finds these incredible connections everywhere. Tilatama Shom and Uzo Amakapower are old souls. Kareena Kapoor Khan and Rita Dominic are screen royalty. Vijay Varma and Bucci Franklin both have that charisma with a side of danger. It's just such a cool way to think about global cinema. So, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all add up to? Well, it's about seeing cinema through a whole new lens. It's about appreciating not just the plot, but the full, rich texture of performance, of place, and yeah, even of sound. See, it's not only about actors. The zine even breaks down the sound of cinema, giving us this absolutely beautiful description of the singer Arijit Singh. He's not just a voice, he's the velvet echo, a sound that feels both massive and incredibly personal all at once.
At the end of the day, the Amebo Zine is so much more than a bunch of opinions. It's like a whole new toolkit. It gives all of us a richer vocabulary and a much wider perspective to really understand and appreciate the art of screen performance in all its incredible forms.
Which really leaves us with one last thing to think about. The next time you sit down to watch a movie, try using this new lens. Try to spot those cross-continental counterparts, or figure out that A is for quality in an actor. How does that change the way you see your favorite stars?